All right, just in case we're not missing anything as far as batshit crazy veteran targeting Trump has been lately, this has gone beyond, beyond the Congressional Medal of Honor being less important than the Presidential Medal of Honor. Beyond that, beyond everything else, he's throwing an awards ceremony at his private club, Donald Trump, for the J6 insurrectionists. It's the J6 awards ceremony, like the Oscars, but for, traitors and felons and stuff. The people who broke into our holiest of holy federal buildings where they actually create the laws the morning, coincidentally, I mean, there's no other reason they were all there, that Mike Pence was supposed to certify the elections. Yeah, that's the awards ceremony he's holding, and he vows as soon as he gets elected again to basically pardon all of them. This is that guy. Now, on top of the whole Congressional Medal of Honor thing, because he had to draw a visual between the two awards, because he gave this woman a Presidential Medal of Honor, who happened to be the wife of a billionaire donor, and blah, 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 gave him $360-some million for his campaign, so he gave her the presidential. And he said how it's such a nicer, it's a better, more honorable, it's a better award than that, Congressional Medal of Honor, because she's a beautiful person, a beautiful woman, and giving her this beautiful award, it was just a beautiful ceremony. Whereas, those who get the Congressional Medal of Honor, it's not as beautiful because, they have like all the damage and stuff from like the bullets. Not as beautiful, the Congressional Medal of Honor, because it's not a manicured and pedicured billionaire's wife in a $5,000 dress getting an award because her husband gave this idiot hundreds of millions of dollars in the past. That's more beautiful. That's not disrespecting the military at all. Walking across graves at Arlington National Cemetery this week, throwing basically a political campaign stop, which is against the law in Arlington, and taking pictures and filming, which is also against the law, and being in Section 60, which is like the holiest of holy, grounds. It holds the most restrictions in all of Arlington Cemetery because it's the most recent in the war on terror and stuff like that, and the most extreme. So it's very, very important, and they're not even allowed to have photographers there. But Trump had a full-on campaign stop there because he said so. And when the employees tried to stop him, he just basically, his campaign staff assaulted them and forced their way into Section 60. If that wasn't enough, make sure you show up at the, the award ceremony for every single thing he could have done. And all he did is destroy benefits for not only veterans, but people who desperately need them. And the Republicans are taking their opportunity and power to do things like cancel school lunch programs for kids who need it the most. Their new plans include cutting the lowest two levels of requirements to collect Social Security, disability, and only giving benefits for 10 years. And if the veterans are collecting a pension, like, if they dedicated, their entire lives to the military and they earned a pension, they'll lose their medical coverage because they should be able to afford it on their own. Because, they're getting the pension. So they'll lose their disability insurance. They lose their disability payments because they're getting a pension. Their families won't be able to use the VA because if you're not active service, you're not covered. And if it's not a service-related medical condition, you're not covered. So if a soldier who barely survived deployment in a wheelchair, God knows how many problems. If he gets pneumonia, it's not covered because it didn't happen on a battlefield. That's what they want. Their kids can't go to the VA hospital, go to another one, get other insurance like Medicare and all that, which, by the way, they're cutting also. Oops. Guess you have to save up and buy it. Those are what you're voting for right now. That's what's on the table. So people want to say Joe Biden is so bad and Kamala Harris is going to be so bad for veterans. Look at what Trump has already done, and look at what he's doing every day for veterans. Where's your award ceremony? Where was your award ceremony? Oh, you didn't storm the Capitol and smear feces on the walls? Defecate on the Speaker of the House's desk? Threaten to unalive the Vice President of the United States? They don't deserve to be punished for what they did? If someone's got protecting the Capitol and the Senate and the Congress in their minds, and there's an angry mob taking down the American flag and putting up Trump flags instead and throwing that pesky Old Glory right there on the ground. But you know, I boycotted the NFL because Colin Kaepernick knelt. Choose your battle and stay with it. Aside from that, shut the fuck up. And you getting so angry at things you don't even want to bother to look into, that's ignorance. It's not patriotism. That's not America first. That's ignorance. There is nothing this man hasn't done that proves how much he despises our military. Suckers and losers, and don't bring these, disabled veterans around. These war heroes who lost limbs and aren't beautiful enough to get a real meaningful award. Don't bring them around because they're depressing to look at. I think that was his words. And then he said it differently over and over again because that's how he feels. He told his first wife she can't name the baby Donald Jr. And his reason was because what if he's a loser? What if he grows up to be a loser or unattractive? Dear old dad. Now tell me again about the awesome father-son relationships he has. Or that real healthy one with his daughter. Come on, cut it out. Stop. Would you do that to your daughter? Talk about her the way he does? No, then shut up. And all you're proving is your voice, your anger is about politics, not about logic, not about intelligence, not about fact. It's all politics. So stop getting angry. It's the truth. Bragged about what it would be like. Talked about it with his buddies. You're okay with that. God forbid the children. The evidence of it is all out there. Just look for it. You'll find it. And then you know who you're actually voting for and who you've been defending this whole time. And then hopefully you'll be patriotic enough to do the right thing when it comes to casting your vote. You don't have to admit you're wrong to the rest of the world. Admit it inside the voting booth, where it needs to be. You can lie your ass off when you walk out, but do the right thing while you're in there, because it's an honor, and it's the only time your vote, my vote, and a billionaire's vote actually mean the same exact thing. So cherish it and use it. And stop letting politics drive your thoughts, because that is what sheep do. Are you a sheep?